Assalamu alaikum and hello again with my second lecture on website creation and designing through WordPress. I'm Asad Hayat and please subscribe and like our channel for upcoming new and exciting content. Let us look at our objectives of this video. In this video, we will learn what is domain and what is web hosting. We will look at some examples of hosting companies out there in the market. What mistake commoners do while referring URLs as domain name? We will briefly see basic terms like IP, HTTP, and SSL. Then a brief look in what are top-level domains and does it have any effect on search engine optimization. Further, we will look into characteristics of a good domain name. For knowledge purpose, it is good to know which authority controls all domain names. Finally, we will look at some domain extensions out there. Let's see what is a domain name and web hosting. Website consists of three building blocks: domain name, which is the identity created in internet world, an address which you rent out for a specific time period, after which if you don't pay up for the rent, it can be given to someone else on higher rent bid. Second block is the hosting company, which allows you to use that name on their land. And again, just like the address link or domain name, this borrowed land is only for a specific time period, which, if you don't renew your lease, will be given to someone else to bring their address board on the same spot. Thirdly, just having a piece of web hosting land and domain address will not be enough for people visiting around to recognize you as a website. You must have a structure sitting on top of it which they could physically visit and observe is its existence. Think of it as a society which gives piece of land on lease. You ask them to rent out a specific piece from whole society and put your address board in front of the plot. Until you build a defined structure on the plot, which is your website building, people will not be able to appreciate your piece of rented land and will not know what the intended purpose of the land is, even if they see your address board on there. Popular domain names which you already know are facebook.com, youtube.com. www.facebook.com is the domain name, as www just serve as Mr. or Mrs. succeeding the domain name. So www.youtube.com and youtube.com are both domain names. However, https colon slash slash www.facebook.com slash KINZ-UL-TAMIM is not a domain name, nor is https slash colon slash slash facebook.com is a domain name. And we will see in a bit why they are not. Web hosting, as its name suggests, has something to do with someone or some company to host your website in their computer. Web servers are very large database servers which have complete power backup, data safety features, and managed by IT experts. We only rent out a very small space in these servers, which is sufficient to manage our website. Once time period for the rent is over, we have to renew our agreement after paying new terms rent, which in this case is the subscription fees. Now we take a look at some domain name and hosting service providers. We have GoDaddy.com, the Bhost, Bluehost, SiteGround, Namecheap, HostGator, and if you want to have a .pk domain extension registered, you can only contact PKNIC, which is Pakistan Network Information Center. I have tried three out of these names and found Bluehost better in customer service. There is absolutely no difference whatever company you use to obtain your domain name. However, there are performance differences which you compare hosting services for these companies. But as a beginner, this also makes it not very relevant to deep dive in performance indicators. So go for for the cheapest solution after comparing hosting plans. It is not something which cannot be fixed later. You will not be in a deep mess by choosing cheapest in the first year. You can always change companies and you can always upgrade the plans later. You just need to see storage, how much GB of space you're getting, the traffic, like how many visitors per month you're allowed, and at what price the renewal will be done. This is very important. Companies tend to trap you with first year at very cheap rate, while second year renewal may reach up to 20 times of that price. So you have to see the renewal price as well. Let's move to our third objective, difference in domain name and URL. We have already seen that www.facebook.com was the domain name, but https ://facebook.com was not. So what is it then? It is referred to as URL. By definition, anything preceding or succeeding domain name by a slash makes it a URL. So both of these links will be called URL. Did you get it? Okay, let's look at some important rules or protocols which govern data transfer, data usage, and data security in the world of internet. Transmission Control Protocol, that is TCP. TCP stands for Transmission Control Protocol, and it is a communication standard that enables application programs and computing devices to exchange messages over the network. It is designed to ensure successful delivery of data and messages over the network. Internet Protocol IP. IP is responsible for defining how applications and devices exchange packets of data with each other. It is the principal communication protocol responsible for formats and rules of exchange of data and messages between computers on a single network or several internet connected networks. Hypertext Transfer Protocol (HTTP). HTTP is an application layer protocol for transmitting hypermedia to documents such as HTML. It was designed for communication between web browsers and web servers, but it can also be used for other purposes. HTTPS is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. HTTPS is an extension of HTTP. It uses cryptography for secure communication over the computer network and is widely used on the internet. In HTTPS, communication protocol is encrypted using transport layer security, that is TLS, which was formerly known as SSL, Secure Socket Layer. You can see how SSL or TRP security changes the data and make it difficult for hackers to reach out to the content. There are approximately 370 million websites as of now on the whole internet. Majority of the domains fall under .com. So .com around holds around 132 million domains in it. .cn holds around 21 million domains in it. .de and .net holds 17 million each. .org holds 13 million, and rest of generic domains hold 170 million websites. However, all generic domain extensions are so crowded that it is becoming more difficult to find a good name for your company, and it is further getting difficult to rank your name up amongst all such crowded network. However, new top-level domains and modified extensions are now available where it is easy to grab a good name, and that helps to rank your website high on the keyword search. Like .academy suits those who want to open an education website. .accountants is very relevant to CA professionals. Then again, if you are a doctor, then naming your company with .doctor domain will help. .army, .cricket, and so on. These special domain extensions are in rising demand and relatively expensive because it helps to make your name prominent and make you stand out of the crowd. Finally, for today's lecture, let's see what are some traits and characteristics which will help to catch the eyes of users. A domain name should be short, easy to remember, can be identified as a brand name, and should not contain numeric or special characters. So this brings us to the end of our lecture number 2. Hopefully from next lecture we will buy a domain, hosting and SSL and make our website live. Please like, subscribe, hit bell icon and share our content, which can be very beneficial for someone. Here are some links to other parts of this series. I will see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.